Mr. Washington.
Hey, Mr. Washington,
Big
we love you.
fans, big
Denzel! Denzel! Woo!
I have a question.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
God, that's a good trailer. The incredible new film, The Piano Lesson, based on the Pulitzer Prize-winning play from August Wilson. His iconic work has given us such big-screen masterpieces like Fences and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. The new film not only earning well-deserved Oscar buzz, it kicked off the Chicago International Film Festival last night, and I am beyond honored to be joined by the film's director, Malcolm Washington, and star, John David Washington. Gentlemen, good to see you. Good to see you. My man, come on. It's good to see you. So I'd like to know, is there anyone in this building who received the Breakthrough Award at the Chicago International Film Festival? Anyone who could raise their hand and say, all right.
It was such an honor. You know, Chicago's such a great film city, movie city. I used to play basketball.
Yeah.
So Hoop Dreams was like,
sure, oh man,
incredible. So to be here and be in the streets of Chicago and get some love here, it's been amazing.
Did the film festival go well last night?
Yeah, it was really nice to be there, and 60 years. Right?
Yeah, 16th anniversary. Yeah,
like, it's one of the oldest.
Yeah, before Tribeca and Sundance and all that.
I was shocking to hear. So yeah, shout out. It was great.
I mean, anytime we get a new big screen adaptation of anything by August Wilson, you know it's something special. I was wondering, this is a big opening question for you guys. If you guys could sit in a theater next to August Wilson and watch this, when it's done, lean over and go, what'd you think about how I did this? What was an aspect of your direction, of your performance you'd love to get his thoughts on?
I would apologize to him immediately. There was a couple ad-lib situations there that it actually made the trailer, so I'll be like, Mr. Wilson, I'm so sorry.
Did you ad-lib it on stage whenever you did it on Broadway?
Yeah. Oh, I was about to curse. No,
it's a family show.
Yeah, absolutely not. So, but we wanted to open up the play, but I'd apologize to him immediately. I'd be so nervous. I probably wouldn't sit in the theater, to be honest.
Yeah, that sounds so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I would just ask him if we were headed in the right direction, if we picked up on what he left behind for us, because so much of our adaptation is built out of the message of the play, which is building on the legacy that your ancestors left for you.
Yeah.
So I'd want to know if we tapped into that message, if we followed the mission.
Speaking on behalf of myself, I'd say you did. I want to talk about the difference between performing it on stage, you did about 2 years ago on Broadway, and then having it here. The difference that live audience makes, the difference between filming it with cameras versus 300-400 people every night. Is there a difference?
Yeah, in that regard, involving the audience, a huge difference. I mean, when you get a laugh on stage, I mean, I feel like I understand comedians more now. Like, there's no better feeling when you get that laugh immediately, that one-to-one connection. But, embracing the quiet moments, embracing how you're listening to your partner, and really, it's more about the behavior of the characters, at least embracing that more, and lean into the words on stage, but that maybe how you're listening and how you interact with your partner without necessarily having to use the words in the film.
I love that. I said this on the show earlier this morning before you guys got here, but I mean this in the most respectful way, that who your father is not the most interesting thing about it. Your art, what you're producing, I think is fascinating. But your dad, obviously Denzel, directed Fences, so he knows what it means to be behind the camera for an August Wilson adaptation. As an artist, to what degree do you want to go and maybe get a piece of advice, and to what degree do you say, you know what, I got to figure this out on my own?
Well, you know, August Wilson's such a big part of his legacy, and my dad is so committed to bringing his stories to the screen. So he was, whether we wanted to or not, he was very clear from the beginning about his reverence for Mr. Wilson, and that we're tying into a much larger legacy, and we have to honor that and come to it correctly.
You know, we have a tradition here in Chicago when it comes to clearing out snow for parking spots. It's called dibs. And if you clear it out, you put something there and you say dibs. Yeah. So there are a lot of great unadapted August Wilson plays that I think a lot of people are starting to look at and go, that's looking pretty good, and my Oscar shelf is looking empty, so maybe I could get a little something. So at what point do you guys start going dibs, dibs, dibs? I'm going to call dibs on those.
Well, it's interesting. So as a filmmaker, I think it's great that so far 3 films have been made. They've been 3 different filmmakers and different voices have come in. So I hope that continues. But a lot of the actors have been doing multiple. Viola did too. Michael Potts.
I mean, Sam Jackson, invented my role, Boy Willie, in 1987. So, yeah, I mean, people want to get in, for sure.
I mean, listen, and if anyone from because we have Academy of voters in this city, I know he has an honorary Oscar, but Sam Jackson deserves
Talk about it.
actual,
Talk about it,
actual
Thank you.
earned, because Spike Lee won his Oscar after he was given an honorary.
Yeah, that's right. That's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
You're right.
On Klansman.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So I want to talk really quick. They're about to pull me out of here, but this is sort of an unconventional thing, a bit that I was going to have you guys do. I am leaving next week to go to London to interview the stars and director of a film called Gladiator 2. And so I had this idea of sitting down with Mr. Denzel and presenting a fan question from two people who might say, "Hey, hey, Mr. Washington, I got a fan question for you. I got my phone with me.
Okay.
Can we record a fan question?
I got
All
a
right.
question.
All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to start it off on myself. Okay, here we go. Hey, Mr. Washington, Jake Hamilton here in Chicago. I never do this. I got a couple of fan questions that I'm going to let someone take over my interview because I thought maybe they could ask a question better than me.
Mr. Washington.
Hey, Mr. Washington,
Big
we love
fans,
you.
big
Denzel! Denzel! Woo!
I have a question. Do you do all your own stunts?
Why do I feel like that's going to get me in trouble?
That's you. That's you.
I did not tell us that. All right, guys. The piano lesson, it's actually going to be playing again at the film festival today at 2 p.m. But for people who can't make it, it's going to be on Netflix November 22nd. Not just one of the best films of the year, but one that people need to watch because I think it's going to spur a lot of conversations. And for the love of God, I know you're probably still dealing with this film. Get back behind the camera, man, because I got to see more of your work, man.
Thank you so
congratulations,
much.
my man. Good to see you.
brother.
All
Good
right,
to see
guys.
you,
We'll be right back. Good Day Chicago rolls on.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.